Icelandic Sea Monsters. When travelling to Iceland via cruise line, some tourists have been asked a bizarre question. This comes in the form of the locals asking the tourists if they have seen any of the nearby sea monsters. Although this may sound like a joke, Iceland is said to be full of mysterious sea monsters, some of which have even been captured on camera. Perhaps one of the most well-known sea monsters is that of the mysterious Lagerflöt worm. This creature is often referred to as the Iceland worm, and it's been sighted by the locals for hundreds of years. The creature's size ranges depending on who you talk to, but some suggest it's anywhere from 30 to 90 feet in length. The worm is described as looking like a large snake, and every so often it can be seen swimming on the surface. Inhabitants of the area have even come forward and spoke about the creatures of the lake, saying that people and pets have gone missing, and this is shortly after they strayed too close to the lake. Another legend states that if you see the worm, something bad will happen shortly after. After many years of people seeing the creature, a government investigation was carried out and they declared that the lake creature does in fact exist. In 2012, video footage was taken of the creature and it immediately went viral. According to Discovery News, the commission ruled that the 2012 video of the Icelandic lake monster is authentic. Some have compared it to the Loch Ness monster, saying that perhaps they are both the same creature. As of right now though, skeptics say that the creature is nothing more than a hoax and still mentioned to this day to help bring tourism to the area. Ghostly sightings. Ever since the owners of the Skinwalker Ranch sold the property to a team of researchers of whom dedicate their time to the study of the ranch and its paranormal and supernatural occurrences, there have been a number of sightings from the researchers that point to the belief that perhaps the area has become somewhat of a hotbed of paranormal sightings as well. There have been numerous reports of hearing disembodied voices, seeing strange orbs of light floating across the property, as well as seeing milky apparitions of spirits coming and going from the areas of the ranch. This has led researchers to believe that perhaps the ranch is in the middle of some strange paranormal gateway or opening that allows such impossible to explain events to occur naturally. Growing reports from the researchers detailing such paranormal occurrences have also helped to feed into the strange theory that perhaps something far more sinister is occurring in the area. Though the ghostly sightings are few and far between, with many claiming that perhaps they're more closely related to that of the extraterrestrial phenomena experienced in the area, they still continue to be an area of study for the researchers across Skinwalker Ranch. The patient on the elevator. According to this urban legend, the patient on the elevator tells a terrifying story that leaves many fearful of the areas of hospitals that are normally left vacant. The story goes that a doctor was walking with a patient as they were taking the elevator to the lobby of the hospital. Suddenly, the elevator continued down further and ended up in the lower basement levels of the hospital in the morgue. They looked around wondering if anyone had called the elevator and needed help, as they could hear a strange moaning from down the corridor. The doctor left the elevator and saw a man walking towards them while moaning in pain. Before the doctor got too close, he saw a red wristband on the man's hand and ran back to the elevator, quickly pressing the doors closed. The patient on the elevator then asked him what was wrong and why they left the man behind. The doctor then explained that the man had a red wristband and that those were only given to patients that have passed away, ultimately believing that the body was that of a possessed deceased patient and not that of a normal man. Though people are unsure where exactly the story originates from, it continues to be an urban legend told across the Philippines, warning people from going into the basements or abandoned corridors of hospitals. The legend of the Kataya fortress. There appears to be an old legend that tells of an ancient race of giants having once inhabited the city of Kataya many eons ago, before humans began to inhabit the region. They were rumored to have been ageless, able to live for as long as they wished, but could actively be killed by means of attack or tragedy. Their leader was an old giant that was around 1,000 years of age when, in order to protect his kingdom, he ordered his giant kind to line up in a single file line from the Nemrut Mountains all the way to what is now known as the Hisar Hill. As they lined up, he would grab a massive boulder from the mountain and pass it down the line, allowing the boulders to travel a great distance and end up at the hill to be used for the construction of massive stone walls placed together without mortar of any kind. Shortly after this project began, however, his young 300-year-old son became injured by a falling boulder, killing him instantly. As this was the first time the leader had ever seen death, he lost his mind in a fit of grief and said that the fortress he had now built will forever be seen as a region of death. The land of Kataya is believed to be cursed with that of the blood of giants, and if a giant was ever to return, would find himself mortal. Today, the Nemrut Mountains are described as the mountains of the gods and is seen by many as the birthing place of giants. Ancients lost in time. It appears that the entirety of the North Sentinelese island serves as a relic of the ancient time of early man. Many research scientists and evolutionary theorists believe the area to house a variety of different species long since considered extinct and to be a completely isolated location with a vast amount of information to teach us regarding prehistoric conditions and various flora and fauna that may not exist anywhere else in the world. Understanding more about the island and the information it provides is complicated, however, by its inhabitants. Oddly enough, the North Sentinel tribe is similar to that of our ancient ancestors lost in time, as they appear to not have even left the Stone Age and are believed to have inhabited the region for more than 60,000 years, a time span that is more than 50,000 years older than the first human civilizations to have formed from anywhere in the world. Additionally, given their hostilities against any other individuals of whom attempt to inhabit or visit the region, the North Sentinelese people have remained the most isolated humans in the history of the world, almost as if their island is a pocket into the distant past unchanged by time, technology, or innovation. Interestingly enough, during the encounter of 1981, it appears that their lack of innovation changed and their access to new resources has seen a shift in their overall mentality of that of the outside world. Other than this, the Sentinelese tribe could help to give us incredible insights as to the genetic traits of early man, while also helping to map out long-questioned beliefs circling around evolution, adaptation, and the missing link between ourselves and the world around us. Unfortunately, due to their isolation, it is believed that if contact is ever to occur between ourselves and the tribe, they will be quickly made extinct by being exposed to new pathogens and diseases of which their immune systems are not capable of handling. The Berwyn Mountain Incident. In the month of January back in 1974, a strange incident had occurred at the Berwyn Mountains in Wales that has since been tied to the mountain since its occurrence. It is nearly impossible to mention the name of the mountain to the locals without hearing them describe the strange sighting seen back in 1974 and how it changed the location forever. According to surviving witness accounts, back in January of 1974, many people reported hearing a loud explosion and then feeling violent tremors that shook the ground beneath them. The authorities at the time had believed that there had been a plane crash that slammed into the side of the mountain, considering there was a massive influx of police reports of people claiming to see blazing lights above the Berwyn Mountains. The police were quickly dispatched and looked into the matter only to report that nothing had been seen and that the reports were nothing more than a common form of mass hysteria. According to the official explanation regarding that night on the mountain, a meteorite strike had occurred at the same moment a natural earthquake was happening. Due to this strange explanation that seems far more unlikely, many extraterrestrial researchers believe that the main cause could have been due to an extraterrestrial crash landing and that the authorities merely covered up the event from the local population.